Hello and welcome to our little corner of the internet where we talk about fountain pens, inks, journals and journaling, and just about anything and everything that's going to keep you inspired. Welcome. Just had some major technical difficulties, which is always fun. I bought a HD webcam and it's not very compatible. So I'm going to have to figure that out. But setting all that aside, we have a very exciting show for you this evening. It's raining Grail pens. Hallelujah. It's raining Grail pens. As it does sometimes. And I'm really excited to get into what that means. Because it should be interesting. It should be a good story. So I'm going to go through that this evening. I also have a couple of things that came into the studio this week, which is always a lot of fun. And of course, next week is a huge week for anyone who wants to meet me. Hi, Allie. Allie J says, hi, Tim. Always nice to see Allie J. Comment was small. Do you see how small that comment was? I made it bigger. There's Allie J. We love Allie J. One of my best friends on here. So next week, everyone, is the week of the DC Pen Show. So I will be making my way down to DC, down the East Coast from here in Boston, and staying in Washington, and then heading out to the Pen Show Friday and Saturday, and then Sunday I'm coming back. So if you'd like to meet me, because I'd certainly like to meet you, then please be at the Pen Show. I'm going to put in the community section where I'll be. So the best way to keep up with the community section is to subscribe. So if you've been watching this channel of mine, if you've been entertained, if you've been inspired, maybe learned something new, maybe had some fun dialogue, thought about things slightly differently, why not subscribe? Why not meet me at the Pen Show? It'd be absolutely brilliant to see you. And if you want to support the channel even more, keep the lights on, then membership is available. And the Cognoscenti and the Illuminati members have a pen pal group. We correspond all the time. It's a lot of fun. So consider that. So that's my commercial for myself. So sadly, Sandra Harris can't stay with us. That's okay. I keep up the replays so you guys can catch the live stream later. So I want to let you all know that this week is exciting for a lot of reasons. One of the things I love to do on this channel is to kind of politely but cheekily put a thumb in the eye of the pen snobs. By the way, I see all the likes flying by. Thank you guys for the likes. That helps and it gets people to notice that we're here. But I like to put a little thumb, kick a little sand into the faces of the pen snobs when I find something that I think is interesting, inspiring, or widens this circle of ours. We have a community here of fountain pen enthusiasts. It stretches beyond this show. And we're all connected in many ways. Sometimes I'm on the internet and other places. I see people posting on Facebook groups, on even other YouTube creators' channels. And it makes me so happy to see someone like a Chiro fake name posting on somebody else's channel. It's always nice to see somebody I know active in the community. So this week's video on Thursday, I've decided to go back to Thursdays on my posting. My summer schedule didn't last very long. I've gone back to Thursdays. But anyway, this Thursday at noon, I am doing a review of a very controversial fountain pen. Extremely controversial. So don't say I will not court controversy. Because I will court controversy. I will take it out and get very close with controversy. So what I decided to do was I moved up my review of the Taylor Swift fountain pen, which I should have put out like 2 months. If I put it my normal posting schedule, would have been in September. I think it's timely now because it came out recently, so I've moved it to Thursday. So it's going to be super fun. I see a lot of love for Thursdays. You guys like the Thursdays. I actually think Thursday's better because you have a chance to watch it. And then Friday you have a chance, but maybe Friday you're heading to the beach or the mountains or something. So you never know. You never know. But this Thursday you can watch my review and my deep dive into the Taylor Swift fountain pen. And by the way, everything you've heard about it is tainted with jaundice. And I feel like I've widened the discussion a little bit on it. I'm not going to say too much because I want you to watch on Thursday. But a big part of this channel is outreach and inspiration and getting more people to interact with this community and fountain pens in general. So I think you're going to enjoy the Taylor Swift fountain pen review this Thursday at noon. So it's super fun. By the way, I put my whole heart in the edit, and I think that's part of the bit that you'll like, is that it has kind of my more recent editing style, which you guys have seen a bit of, but I've learned some new things, and I think you're going to enjoy it. I think you're going to enjoy it. By the way, I'm reading some of the chats now. It's always interesting. I have to peel off a bit of my consciousness to take a look at what's going on in the chats because I try not to miss any questions or any super chats. Sometimes people give me super chats. I always want to acknowledge those because I appreciate them so much. But I'm always keeping an eye down there, and I see the likes flying up. But a lot of Cognoscenti and Illuminati members are here. Ellie J, John Manuel, who helps me quite a bit. And I see them talking about, hey, did you get my letter? Hey, I just got your letter. Your handwriting is so nice, or whatever it is. Some people have brilliant handwriting. Actually, John Manuel has very nice handwriting. Lad Gardner, exquisite handwriting. I'm jealous of that man's handwriting. And I need to thank someone for a lovely super chat. Daniel Rivera, my friend. Love this place. Well, this place loves you. I know I do. Thanks for the $10. Helps keep the lights on. I really appreciate it. Thanks for all your love and support, guys. I really appreciate it. So, I think... Hey, Achiro's here. Hello, Achiro. Nice to see you. Always a pleasure. I was just talking about you. I hope you caught it. So, I want to show you something that came into the studio I'm super excited about. And I think you'll see this in some upcoming videos. So this is a really interesting book. By the way, Yorick is here. You remember Yorick? Hello. Sorry, I'm like a 10-year-old. I am so over the moon with Yorick here. Yorick shows up in another video I recently did, and you're going to see it very soon, and I think you'll be like, there's Yorick. Yorick made it to the channel. My wife bought me this. Don't lose your head, Hemingway. My wife bought me this for my birthday. I'm delighted. I feel like St. Jerome in his study. That's me. Anyway, back to the book. An illustrated fountain pen history from 1875 to 1960 by Cliff and Judy Lawrence. I want to give all proper credit. So, very fun book. Let me show you some of it. Pen Fanciers Club in Florida. So this is cool. This is a fountain pen community that made this. Wow, long time ago, guys. A long time ago. 1986 this was published. I was in college then. I was at Rutgers. And it looks like it was typed, which is absolutely brilliant. So here's a bit of the history of nibs and things. The binding, by the way, is a little sketchy on this. I might have to send this off to get rebound. I might send it to my friend at Bottega Obscura to bind it in leather for me. But look at this. Waterman pen ads. Oof. Yeah, it's a little dodgy. This was not made to survive 40 years. You know what? I'm going to go back on me a second, and then I'm going to raise the camera, but I don't want to jolt you. I don't like to jolt you, but I want to raise the camera so you can see a bit more of this. Now we're going to go back. I'm very gentle with you guys. Okay, here we are once again. So look at this. Isn't this great? So I can do quite a bit of research here. Can get some prices. I can get some specifications. Look at this. The $3 AT Cross fountain pen for $1.50. That's half off. And I can simply go to Perry Mason & Co. at 41 Temple Place in Boston. I can just pick it up in Boston the next time I'm there. I only need a TARDIS to do it, but I could. Waterman's Ideal Fountain Pen. Shipman's Patent Spiral Feed. Never heard of a Shipman. I bet one comes. Now that we're talking about it, we're going to talk a bit about that. Remind me, guys. Remind me. Ooh, Wasky's here. The lovely and talented Jason. As a regular used book buyer, yes, bindings in those books don't age well. Right, last week, Jason, I'm talking to you, only you. So everybody else, just take a breath. I'm talking to Jason for a sec. Last week we were talking about the Rankin and Bass Hobbit book with all the great illustrations from 1978 that I had as a child. And I used to do watercolor drawings out of that book, and it just fell apart because it had this glued binding, basically where they stack the paper, cut it, glue it on a cover. It's one of the worst ways to bind a book, but it reminds me of this book because this one's a little brittle too. Okay, I'm back. So let's look at some more of these. Absolutely brilliant. Brilliant. It's amazing that somebody collected all of these. A lot of Waterman Ideal. Oh, this is fun. These are early pen endorsements. Do you see this? So it says poet, orator, and traveler. That's kind of my high opinion of myself. Poet, orator, traveler, and mispronouncer of words. That's my title. But the Waterman Ideal Fountain Pen, it works admirably. I have given up every other pen in its favor, and have of late done all my writing with it. Oliver Wendell Holmes, from here in Massachusetts. So how brilliant is that? The Waterman Ideal Fountain Pen is my latest discovery and the best. I'm not sure whose name that is. Looks like Henry McKinley, which I'm guessing is a president. Yeah. So I can't even read this one. Charver, maybe somebody in the comments know, but pretty great stuff. So it's celebrity endorsements of celebrities that aren't very relevant anymore. So let me put Jason's comment. My parents owned that Hobbit book. I remember reading it as a kid. Yeah, right? I mean, it was so magical. I'm going to buy one. They did put out a hardcover version. Some of the viewers were lovely enough to send me links. I haven't pulled the trigger on one, but I'm going to, because I've been a little busy with other purchases and things. This is interesting. This is a celebrated AT Cross steelographic pen, and it's $2. It's expensive. So these steelographic pens are of the type that Churchill used, but he used a different brand. I think it was a Red Dwarf, but you see those occasionally. They kind of sound like a fountain pen married a rollerball, but I've never held one. So that is the undiscovered country for me. Here's another one over here. Do you guys mind this? This isn't boring, is it? I mean, I'm excited. I haven't had a chance to open it. Sometimes I need to open these things on the air because it's the only time I get to look at things. I'm so busy. Look at that J. Isn't that brilliant? That's a good J. The Jewel Fountain. We're not going to go through everything, but I just wanted to give you a taste for this. I mean, certainly these are the older ones. This is neat. Do you see this cutoff here? The George S. Parker fountain pen. That reminds me of the way that Hemingway was referenced in the Hemingway book. A lot of ideals. We're going to go a little deeper here just to move through the decades. Laughlin for $1. Self-filling pen problem solved. Right here. Self-filling pen problem solved. Isn't that brilliant? I'm so glad. Oh, this is interesting. Self-filling. Simply twist. Well, if I have to twist, it's not really self-filling, is it? I mean, a true self-filling fountain pen, you just put it in the bottle, right? Am I wrong? Am I wrong? I don't think so. Maybe I am. John Holland fountain pens. By the way, that looks like a dip pen. That's cool. We need to find one of these. Look at how elegant that is. Isn't that brilliant? I am a fan of John Holland. I didn't know it until this very moment. By the way, this is so full of Waterman. So many Waterman pens. Look at those. Gorgeous. Parker pen. Look at this chubby Parker. Isn't that beautiful? So I'm guessing these are the kind of things you would see in ads and newspapers back in the day. We're up to 1904, by the way. Conklin's self-filling pen. Simply press the metal bar, and it fills itself by you filling it by pressing the metal bar. And look, Mark Twain says it's fine. Samuel Clemens is a fan. By the way, I didn't realize this. I always thought that it was kind of a secret that his name was Samuel Clemens, but here he signed it. He doesn't sign it Mark Twain. He signs it Samuel Clemens. And of course, Mark Twain was when he was working on the riverboats. And I guess they would count off different marks, and it became sort of his nickname. I think Twain might have been for 3 or what have you. Kind of neat. I'm sure the Twain scholars amongst us can clarify that in the comments. Ooh, Jason, who is always a fountain of knowledge, says Parker 61 is a true self-filler. I shall have to try it, my friend. I shall have to try it. All right, let's move up through the decades. The self-filling post fountain pen. Simply take it apart, turn a knob, and it fills itself. Self-filling seems to be a huge selling point. All right, let's go up. We're in the 20s now. 20s is one of my favorite eras for fountain pens. Conklin Duofold. I'm trying to see if there's any, like, maybe when you get to 2024, we might see a Meisterstück. Wouldn't that be cool? Ooh, look what I see, guys. Schaefer. Ooh, I love Schaefer. Isn't this cool? I love this. You're going to see this in my B-roll now forever, so. Schaefer. There's so much information in these old ads, all the particulars. Okay, I'm going to move quickly now because I don't want the whole hour to just be this. Oh, this is so cool. Look, there's flappers. The Carter pen. So much copy here. Ooh, these are expensive. $7 and $5. But they have flappers. How great is that? All right, let's go up to where we might know some of them. So we're in the 1930s now. The Doric. This seems to have an American bias. I'm not seeing any foreign pens yet. Foreign to America. Ooh, look at this, guys. This is exciting. Look at this. Do you see what I see? I'm going to try to put it so you can see it better. The Revolutionary Parker Vacuumatic. $10. That's expensive. $5. I like this one, actually. I have this one. $7.50. Maybe I have this one. Mine's actually smaller, so I think I have this one. But Parker Vacuumatic. How cool is that? Let me answer that for you. It's very, very cool. Okay. All right, let's skip a little bit. A lot of Vacuumatic ads here. Schaefer's. Oh, look at this. This is epic. The Parker 51. How cool is that? So cool. Look, this is so charming. 1942, the war's on, World War II. It's some servicemen and a lady, and they're speaking to her, saying, "Hey, I have an ever-sharp pen, so we should go see a movie." That's all it took. Parker 51. Look, that's beautiful, Ad. Beautiful. There she is again. Same guys. Okay. Let's move up closer, then I'm going to put it away, I promise. And then I'm going to talk about our main topic, which I think you'll enjoy. Eversharp Waterman. It's really mostly American ones. It should say American fountain pens, because I don't see any Montblanc. I don't see any Conway Stewart. I don't see any Pelican, but still very cool. I'm going to be getting more of this kind of thing. So we're in 1956. Hey, oh, you were just talking about this, Jason. Look, it's the Parker 61. The only fountain pen that fills itself by itself. It has no moving parts. The newly created Parker 61 is unlike any pen you have ever seen or used, an inspired invention. As you can tell at a glance, it has a classic beauty, the elegance of great simplicity, and great simplicity marks its operation too, for the Parker 61 pen fills itself by itself in 10 seconds. No pumping, squeezing, twisting, nothing. Its ink capacity is conveniently oversized, and it has no moving parts to get out of order. The Parker 61, with its frankly revolutionary capillary ink system, writes effortlessly, clearly, always, even in high-flying plane. Even in a plane, guys. In its first Christmas season, this is a distinguished gift for those friends who appreciate the new, the unusual, quite flattering to them and to you. You have a choice of rich colors and gleaming caps, sheathed in sterling silver and 12-karat gold. All pens are available with matching pencils. Parker 61, ooh, it's expensive, guys. It's $20. $20. So Space Race, right? 1956, the beginning of that. Let me get a nice galaxy scene. So, Jason, right here. How great is that? How great. Looks like the last one is from October of 1959. A Parker. 61, again. So, pretty neat book. If you want to find this book yourself, An Illustrated Fountain Pen History, 1875 to 1960, by Cliff and Judy Lawrence on eBay. I think this was $20. So, it was well spent. Well spent. Pretty big book. Full of American fountain pens. So, what do you guys think of that? Pretty neat, right? I try to bring things to you that I think you will enjoy. This is a curated site. I'm trying to pick the things that I think you'll find interesting. Okay. By the way, here it is. Thursday at noon. From the desk of Taylor Swift. Ooh, my hater is here. I always have one hater that every week gives me a thumbs down. By the way, either thumbs up or thumbs down, it still helps the algorithm. It means you're interacting, and the algorithm loves it. So please, keep it up. Keep it up. I love it. And I wish I could win you over, though. Email me. We can chat. See what our differences are. So, Taylor Swift fountain pen. Ooh. Thursday at noon. Only one day to wait. Okay? Not so bad. Nathan King is making a point about inflation. $20 is around $2.35 today. Still a pretty good deal, huh? Oh, John Manuel's telling me that peg leg needs to be recognized. Thank you. I'm going to look for it. Don't worry. We will not let one get by without being recognized. The mighty peg leg has supported the channel. So we want to find your super chat. Here it is, my friend. Thank you so much. I'm sorry I missed it. Peg leg. Shameless plug for channel membership. If you haven't joined, I recommend it. For the Pen Pal group alone, what an uplift to your day to get a surprise letter from someone. Thank you. Thank you, my friend. It's very kind. So take it from Pegleg Pirate Rooster. Join the channel Cognoscenti or Illuminati and correspond with me and my merry band of wonderful people who I can't wait to meet at the DC Pen Show. The DC Pen Show. Next weekend, Monday, I begin my journey south with my family. So not only will you meet me, but you will meet Helen and the amazing Imogen, who astounds me every day. Every day. She's such a trip. Ooh, Lad Gardner gave 5 memberships. Thank you for the gift memberships. And welcome to the new members. Laddie Gardner is just amazing. One of the best people. I do appreciate you, my friend. Thank you. JR Diaz says, I need to get Taylor Swift on the channel for an interview. I would love that. If anyone knows Taylor, tell her I gave her pen a fair shake. I shook it off. See, I became a dad for the jokes. Yeah. Anyway, sincerely, I would love to talk to her because there's a couple things about Taylor beyond the pen. There's a very interesting thing about how she writes that's in the video. It's quick, but it's in there. So don't miss it. And a Paradox says, Lad is very generous. Lad is one of the most generous people I know. Sincerely. And he puts up with me when I'm not feeling my best. Hey, this is nice. Alejandro. HJ, my guy, man. He says, fan from San Antonio. Well, it makes me happy I have fans in San Antonio. And thank you for your enthusiasm and your kindness. I think I made my comments a little too large. There we go. That's better. Alejandro, thank you so much, my friend. I really appreciate it. Oh no. Oh no. Someone's leaving after my jokes. Okay. What can I show you next? Oh, Pamela Iraguchi sent stamps. Thank you, Pam. Thank you. Why did she send stamps? For the Illuminati and Cognoscenti Pen Pal group. I write so many letters. You have no idea, guys. So many letters. But I enjoy it. Okay. So I want to tell you guys a couple of things. All right? This is just you and me. So, there's a lot of things I don't believe in, but work. So, I'm a very logical person. Or I try to be. I try to check my facts. When I hear something and it sounds outrageous or strange, I consider the source. I consider whether or not they have an agenda. I do a little follow-up work with sources I trust. It's part of being a banker. When you're a banker, you accept a lot of information, but then you verify it. It's like you trust, you verify. And then you make a decision, dispassionately, based on the facts of how you think things will turn out. That's how I view a lot of things. So, one of the things I don't believe in that I've talked about on this channel before, and I'll mention it very briefly, is my ghost cat. So I don't believe in supernatural anything. If I can't see it, touch it, measure it with a scientific instrument, it doesn't exist. Except for love and hope, intangibles. But things like that, if you're going to tell me like, oh, there's ghosts and you got to be scared of the dark, I'm not listening. I don't believe in any of that stuff. But there is a ghost cat in this house, and I just don't know what it is. I don't know if it's a shared hallucination. My wife has a theory. But let me tell you what the ghost cat is in case you haven't been watching for a while and you have no idea what I'm talking about. And the reason I'm bringing it up, it does tie in to fountain pens, so don't worry, we're getting there. The other night on the full moon, my wife and I were in bed, and I felt the cat jump up on the bed. My beloved Ophelia, who's my cat. It was not Ophelia. There was no cat on the bed. Both my wife and I reacted to the cat jumping on the bed that wasn't there. So I said to my wife, like, oh, ghost cat's back. Now, I'm like, oh, ghost cat, come here. And my wife's like, no, 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 no. Don't court the dead ghostly animals. You should not be friendly to those forces. But me, I'm like, it's a cat. Sometimes we hear purring. Sometimes when I get up to go to the bathroom at night, it'll rub against my leg. And then it's not there. I think it's my cat. It's not my cat. My cat's never around when ghost cat's around. Okay? So ghost cat came out the other night. And I almost felt kind of happy to experience ghost cat again, because it's been a few months, probably 6 months or more, I think, since autumn, since we've seen haven't seen. My wife says she's seen, but I haven't seen. So my wife's theory is that Ophelia can astral project herself, which I love that theory. I love that theory. So yeah, Debbie Podrosky says that full moons bring out ghost cats. It's very possible. And, I'm trying to craft a scientific reason behind it. About as close as I can come is I was watching Neil deGrasse Tyson talk about multiverses and how the universe is governed by the laws of physics, Einstein's theories of relativity, what we know as the physical universe, and how it obeys certain laws. However, on the quantum level, the universe obeys different laws. It sometimes affects or before causes. Time is very relative on the quantum level. So at the time the universe was condensed to the quantum level, then relativity and quantum physics were one, even if for a millisecond, as the universe burst. So maybe something in that allows for these random occurrences. But I'm going way off field. So let me get back to how it ties into fountain pens. I don't believe in it, but it works if you magnetize something. Now, I read this book when I was a child, and I can't remember the name, and I meant to look it up before I went to air, but I got very busy and I didn't have a chance. But it was from the same author who wrote Jonathan Livingston Seagull. So I'm really showing my age here, every one of my 57 years right now. So it's a very popular book in the 1970s. And he wrote another book, and I can't remember the title, but it was basically about somebody who came to Earth with like a spiritual message, and he got a book that like dropped out of heaven, or the skies, and said, this is how you become like transcendent. And he was just teaching these things to people, and he was flying around the country in an airplane, a small plane, from small airport to airport, okay? And in that book, it spoke about magnetizing things. And basically, the concept is that if you focus on something, the universe has a tendency to bring it to you in some form. So I've been speaking a lot about some aspirational pens that I'm looking for at pen shows. And there are 2 Grail pens that basically fell on me like that book did in that book. One is nothing super incredibly coincidental, just that I've been waiting for this pen for 3 years. And that is a Waterman 52 in red ripple with a flex nib in nice condition that's not $500. And I was on Peyton Street Pens, and I like this comment, Matthew, very funny. That's a great movie, by the way. I was on Peyton Street Pens, and the Waterman 52 went up in red ripple with an ideal nib, flex, beautiful, nice shape, totally refurbished. It was $275. I thought that was a good deal. I bought it immediately. I didn't hesitate. I'd love to show it to you, but it hasn't arrived yet. This was 2 days ago. But I was very, very pleased because it's one of the pens I would be looking for in Washington. And, you know, could I find one for less? Possibly, but it's totally refurbished. It's in great shape. Terry stands behind everything that she sells, so it's I feel confident. I love doing business with people I can trust. I'm happy. By the way, she has no idea who I am. I did put in the message, hey, this is Hemingway Jones. I'm super psyched to get this pen. Thank you very much. But I don't know if she made the connection, but it's cool. You know, I'm just happy I found it. So that is coming, and I'm sure I will film with it. And I guess I have artwork to use with this book that has arrived. But oh my gosh, KG Mav. Thank you, KG Mav. I think you must be talking about illusions. I am talking about illusions. It's been so long, I've completely forgotten what the name of that book was. It's the Illusions. Yeah, that's it. See, I probably read that book when I was around 14 or so. So we're talking 1981. And I found it very inspiring. I was really into Carlos Castaneda's, if you remember that. All that was debunked, but it was still very cool stories. And the Illusions. So well done, J.R. Diaz. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Oh, I'm sorry. It was KG Mav on Bell. Thank you very much. J.R. Diaz is talking about Peyton Street Pens is a nice site for vintage. Truly. Let me put out a commercial for someone I have no affiliation with. I love Peyton Street Pens. I've bought several vintage pens from them. My Watchman 52.5 is from there. My Watchman 5. My Conway Stewart 475, I think it is from there. I have a Wall Eversharp that's from... No, it's an Oxford maybe. I'm not super great with vintage pens, but it's some kind of Wall. And all from there. So, love doing business. Super psyched. Sometimes I see stuff and they go by. There was a Montblanc that had spiders on it. It was so cool. I let that go by. I'll never do that again next time I'm buying it. Okay, so here's the big story. And it goes to magnetism, okay? You may recall on this very program, I mentioned that I was looking for Montblancs that are burgundy. That burgundy is kind of my thing. That I am super inspired by anything that is burgundy. Do you remember that? I liked black pens, but I do find them a little boring. I've been criticized for saying that Sailor 1911Ls and gold and black are boring. The 146, even the 149 coloration is kind of boring. Gold and black, even in the Magna Carta M600, kind of boring. That's why the M650 is so exciting. But what happened was someone reached out to me on Instagram after last show and said, so I hear you're looking for a burgundy Montblanc. I have one and I don't like it very much. And they said would you like to trade it? And I thought, I actually thought at first that it was a scam. I thought that the pen that they were showing me was not one I was very familiar with because it's older, and we'll get into that, and it's interesting and it's unique, and we'll get into that. But I thought, there's a lot of scam Montblancs out there. I actually have two. A company sent me two of those and wanted me to promote them, and I refused. And I still have them. I was going to throw them away, but I thought I might be able to use them for comparison, maybe do a video on what to look out for. But it's a Petit Prince and a 144. Cursory look holds up pretty well. Anyway, so this person was saying, there was a pen you have, and they identified a pen that I have that I've already filmed with, and that I like, but I don't love. I didn't super connect to it like some of my fountain pens. And it's about a $200 pen. And they asked, would you send me that pen and I'll send you the Montblanc 147. Now the first thing you think is, can I trust this person? Is it real? But then I was just kind of like, I'm not super psyched with this pen. Let's just do it anyway. It's just kind of fun. And then I looked up their name, and they had an exquisite resume. Exquisite. This person was so impressive. Multiple degrees, multiply accomplished, living in a fantastic place. Just the kind of person that would say, I don't like this pen, I like that one, let's trade. They also said that their mother had taught them to be generous, and that if somebody else loves something, to pass it on. And that's a compelling story. That's just, that person like that you trust. You just trust. So, I sent the pen off, and then they sent the pen off. I think mine got there first, because I sent it right away. And this arrived. This came. And it's a Montblanc. And it's a Burgundy Montblanc. And it's beautiful. And I'm going to show it to you. Right about now. Okay. So here we are. This is a Burgundy. It looks a bit brownish, doesn't it? But it's burgundy, but it's kind of brownish burgundy, but definitely not black, right? I wonder if I could bring out the light a bit more. Sorry. It looked better on the other camera, but you know what I mean. Okay, so it's a 147 Traveler from the late 1990s. Beautifully appointed, lovely gold. Basically I would say it's slimmer than my 146, but it's elegant and it's beautiful. So I want to show you how it writes, and then I'm going to show you what's special about it. So for me, one of the things that's very special about it, beside the fact that it has a story, one of the best things is to have a story. Look at the gorgeous nib. Do you see that, guys? Man, gorgeous. So it has a compelling story. And anything with a story makes it so much more interesting. In fact, I'm thinking about bringing this to Washington, D.C. So if you want to see it, I'll have it with me, I think. I think I'm going to bring it. Alright, I'm not sure if there's 2 L's in Traveler. I'm pretty sure there is. So I'm going with that. If you want to make fun of me in the comments, please do. Let me know what you think of this pen in the comments. I would love to hear. But do you see how wet it is? Do you see how nice and flowy this pen is? Look at that. This is my word for this pen. It's gorgeous. It has black ink in it right now. I did order some Bordeaux. Is it called Bordeaux? The new Montblanc red, or am I conflating it with the beloved Bordeaux they used to make? But it's that reddish, visceral color from Montblanc. That's coming. But this is black. So this is an absolute joy. I don't know if you can tell. I am struggling a little. My arm is numb again, so doing the best I can. But great writer. I want to keep writing. It's so much fun, and I got to remember I'm doing a show. All right, so let me show you what's cool about it. A Chiro fake name says, looks so much like my Burgundy Sailor 1911L. I can see that. I should put it side by side with my 146 because it feels a little more slender. Maybe I should. Hold on a sec. I have my 146 right here. ASMR, guys. So here's the 146. Here's the 147. They look pretty close, don't they? Yeah, these are really close. They're not exact, actually. If you look, it looks like the cap is a bit taller on the burgundy, that it peaks a bit higher. Thanks for all the likes, guys. Did I miss any? Let me know if I missed any super chats, guys, because I want to make sure I recognize everyone. And I haven't been keeping an eye on the chat, so please let me know if I missed any. This feels a little pointier, but very, very similar. Yeah, you know, it's very, very similar. Sometimes color can lead you astray with dimension. The bodies actually look pretty similar. You know one way you can test? You can try the caps on the other one. That fits perfect. Fits perfectly. That's actually cool. Maybe I should go with that. What do you think? Should I go with this? It's pretty cool. So anyway, there you have it. So let me show you what's special about this pen. This one's flex. Oh, it's also empty. Haven't filled it. I need to fill it. Okay. So, what's special about the 147? It's a cartridge pen. Cartridge. But it has like a caddy that you deliver the cartridges. Look at this. Isn't that crazy? So your cartridge snaps in front, then you put one behind it to hold it in place. And then you just, when you put it in, it's very Lamy style. It's going to go where it needs to go. You don't have to force it in. You don't get the excitement of putting in an ink cartridge the way you do on most other pens. But it's going to go in perfect every time. So, very nice pen. Great writer. I still hate my D's. I think this is a droopy D. I did ask for D picks. That was probably not the best phrasing I've ever done. People sent me D picks. Most of them were respectful. But I'm still not happy with my D's. I probably like this one the best, even though I don't like droopy D's. I don't like any droopy letter. That's nice. I like that. That's my favorite now. I need to be more unhinged with my handwriting. John Manuel says, I think I would miss the colors that are available in bottles. Yeah, you know what, though? The only thing is that you do have a couple options. I mean, you have your ink syringe, so you could certainly fill up any cartridge you like with any ink you like. Also, have you noticed how many more colors there are in cartridges? I've been abusing these. It's such a shame. I made a video and I totally abused these, but I bought these Kaweco ruby red ink cartridges and I love them. I love this color, but I've gone through them in like a week recording. But this is an unsung color. It's very diamine-like. I quite like it. So, yeah. Okay, so this came to me by a lovely, generous viewer. You can see the color better. Look, see, there's the color. So just very, very nice. Very, very nice. Very generous, and I'm digging it. I'm loving this pen. I'm using it quite a bit. And I kind of have the burgeoning collection of Montblancs going here, which I didn't mean to do. But here's some of them. What's missing? What's missing, class? Tell me, class, what's missing? I want to do Sam Kinison voice. You remember him? So look at this. Look at this lineup. Can you tell which pen is missing? I'm going to tell you. Wait, tell me in the chats, guys. We haven't interacted enough. Which pen is missing? But these are vintage. This is the 146, 149, Bohème, 147, Cartier Diablo. Which, if you've never seen my Cartier Diablo... By the way, see the color now? Look at the color now. Do you see that? That's the color. And this is the Cartier Diablo with a ruby cabochon, Chinese lacquer, a gorgeous nib. Too small, though, the nib. But one of my favorite pens to write with. Doesn't get enough love. But look at the color of these bad boys together. And this M600 by Pelikan, the M800 in blue and black, the M1000, and the M200. So I guess I need a 400. Oh, Joseph Brown, you genius, you. I love you. Egyptomania. Indeed, the Egyptomania is missing. Egyptomania is missing. So this definitely gives you an idea of its color. Look at that. By the way, do you hear how Philadelphia I sound? I have a really hard time with the word color. Color. I say color because that's what we say in Philly. You can hear a lot of where I've been in my accent. I'm like Highlander. Do you remember Highlander when he's in the police station and the sergeant says, "You talk funny, Nash. Where are you from?" And Christopher Lambert looks at him, the Highlander, and he says, "Lots of different places." That's me. You can hear it in my voice. There can be only one. Only one pen lord. This is a pretty pen. You're going to see this pen again very, very soon in a very creative way. This pen is nuts. This pen is a bit like taking the Cartier Diablo and, I don't even know, crossing it with something mad. What's on the other side? Some nice pens here. Visconti Mythos. Visconti Homo Sapiens, Conway Stewart 58, the Esterbrook Latte, the Esterbrook Raven, Esterbrook Tortoise. This is the Mucha pen. What's it called? Blue Nouveau? Nouveau Blue, right? This is one of the most superb pens. If you own this, you need not buy any other pen. The mighty PC 823. The mighty PC 823. I'm looking for a clear one of these in DC. A PC in DC. This is Black Noir. This is, you know what this is? You guys, probably most of you don't even know I own this. Do you know what this is? Anyone in the comment know where this is? Oh, so Steve's asking, where is the Egypto? The Egypto has its own case. And it's lovely. This is a Pilot Falcon. Did you know that? Oh, David Berlin. Yeah, you're right. The Origins is missing. That's right, but it's right here. So that's right here. It lives in its own sock. At the bottom of the sea. Let me see. Okay. Achiro says I could buy a car with that tray of pens. It's weird. A lot of these just kind of came to me. Magnetism. Focus on them and they come. Focus, young Padawan, and they come. So, yeah, the Egyptomania is here. I keep it close. It's right here. Gorgeous. Lovely. Pots and pans, as long as the Cartier's there, nothing is missing. I love that Cartier. It's such a great Great pen. So, I guess the moral of the story is if you want a pen, focus on it, and circumstances will kind of move in your favor to bring it to you. So, next week, DC, super excited. I'm going to try to stream from DC. And Thursday is a video on the Taylor Swift fountain pen. Go Taylor. Should be super fun. I think you'll enjoy that. You don't have to be a fan of hers to enjoy that. So I'm super excited. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I think we are at the end of a long journey. I can't believe how quickly this evening went by. Thank you so much for spending it with me. I hope you enjoyed this broadcast as much as I did being here for you. Remember, I make videos all the time. We always have the live show too, unless it's an off week, but I try to be here regardless. A lot of exciting stuff coming up on the channel. Next week's video is cursive writing. Banned. I think you're going to like that. I haven't done a polemic before, so I think you're going to enjoy that. So there you have it. And yes, am I afraid of the Swifties coming after me for making this review? You bet I am. You bet. But I think they'll appreciate me for being fair. So thank you for joining me. Much love. We'll see each other again extremely soon, further up the road. So take care of yourselves and good night.